Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, Daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
How do you know I'm not a gangster or used to be a gangster? I've been in the music industry for 30 years.
Yeah, I mean, the industry's filled with gangsters.
Jay-Z and Beyonce, the royal family of modern music, always seen as perfection. Every public moment feels like a show of power, from their matching looks at the Met Gala to those diamond smiles at the Grammys' private jets touching down across the world. But behind all that shine, a question keeps haunting the industry. What if their perfect marriage was never real? What if every song, every tour, even their family image was just a cover for something deeper, something darker than anyone could imagine?
Feel initially when Beyonce started dating Jay-Z, who is very successful, but he's also, generally considered a gangster rapper.
For more than 20 years, we have been told that Jay-Z and Beyonce are the ultimate love story built on power and resilience. But insiders whisper a very different tale. People who worked close to them claim their relationship has always been more of a business deal than a real romance. They say Jay-Z, once known for his hard street image, suddenly transformed the moment he connected with a young Beyonce in the early 2000s. Before that, his lyrics were all about dominance and distance from emotion. Then out of nowhere came the clean suits, the art collections, and the picture-perfect smiles. The shift felt too strategic, too perfectly timed, especially as whispers about his private life continued to spread in executive circles. His personal orientation was said to be an open secret, never printed, but always discussed behind closed doors.
Jay-Z and Beyonce being, two of the other 15 people in the room. So that'll just put into perspective of the type of company I was in.
Right.
By the time Beyonce dropped Crazy in Love in 2003, the story was already set. Hip-hop's Bad Boy had become the perfect family man, and the quiet Texas girl had turned into global royalty. But behind that glossy transformation, something else was unfolding. That same year, Diddy entered the frame, not as competition, but as a collaborator. When Beyonce recorded Summertime with Diddy, insiders claimed the chemistry between them was impossible to ignore. People on set whispered about how their connection blurred the line between art and something personal. From that point forward, those close to the trio began to talk about an unspoken triangle: Jay-Z, the strategist keeping the empire together; Beyonce, the flawless public image; and Diddy, the quiet force in the background. The friendship between Jay and Diddy went way back to the 90s, when both were young, hungry, and haunted by the loss of their friend Notorious Big in 1997. They bonded through pain, success, and scandal. By 1999, both had faced serious legal trouble. Jay for the nightclub stabbing incident, and Diddy for a shooting near Times Square. Each walked away with probation and a deeper understanding of power. Those who were there say that shared survival created a secret pact between them, one that went far beyond business. And when Beyonce stepped into the picture, that bond only grew stronger.
There is a partial verdict in the Diddy case. After 2 days, the jury has reached unanimous decisions on 4 of the 5 counts.
The problem is that 5th count means that we don't get to find out what the verdicts are on the other 4, because they are hung up on racketeering.
In 2000, the year of the MTV Video Music Awards, the first real crack in their flawless empire began to appear. A young woman, later identified in court papers as Jane Doe, claimed she was assaulted at an exclusive after-party involving both Jay-Z and Diddy. The two men denied every detail, calling it a setup, a desperate attempt at blackmail. But the shadow of that night never truly faded. Years passed. The world forgot until the lawsuit resurfaced in late 2024, reigniting the questions no one ever answered. Why would Jay-Z risk his billion-dollar image to stand beside Diddy so fiercely? Some insiders whisper it was never about loyalty, but survival, that a shared secret binds them, one so deep and dangerous it could bring down both their empires if it ever came to light.
Tick-tock, tick-tock, the clock is ticking on Diddy, because on Friday he finds out what his sentence is going to be, but today he found out what prosecutors would like that sentence to be, and it is vastly different from what his attorneys have suggested to the judge. Prosecutors want him to do 11 years, just over 11 years.
By then, Diddy's legal chaos had reached a boiling point. Federal agents stormed his homes, in New York, Los Angeles, and Miami in March 2024, and by September he was arrested facing charges of coercive behavior, transportation for immoral purposes, and racketeering. His trial is set for May 2025, but the damage is already done. The industry is shaken, alliances are cracking, and the silence around him speaks louder than any defense. Jay-Z, usually quick to take a moral stand, has vanished from the conversation. 50 Cent even mocked him online for disappearing, pointing out that the annual Roc Nation brunch, the ultimate display of his power, was quietly canceled. The silence was deafening, and for many it confirmed what insiders had whispered all along, that Jay-Z's connection to Diddy runs far deeper than friendship behind the headlines. A different story was unfolding in 2024. Author Terrence Dean released a memoir exposing the hidden side of hip-hop. He described a secret rainbow subculture thriving inside an industry built on hyper masculinity without naming names. He painted scenes of executives who used fear and homophobia as weapons, and of artists who lived double lives to protect their image. Readers couldn't help but notice how Jay-Z's transformation from street hustler to art-loving billionaire echoed the kind of reinvention Dean hinted at.
I think sometimes Meek falls victim to, I have to explain myself because they be playing with my name.
Yeah.
And the more he responds, the more they...
In 2024, rapper Bobby Shmurda made headlines when he accused Roc Nation of manipulating stories inside the music business. He claimed that Jay-Z's company used private information to control loyalty and shape the narrative around artists. According to him, those who left the label often found themselves surrounded by strange online rumors. The claim sounded wild, but it hit differently when Jay-Z's name appeared alongside Diddy's in new legal documents. Suddenly, people started connecting dots, wondering if there was more to their partnership. Then business whispers grew louder as old photos and appearances resurfaced, showing just how close their circles had always been. Former insiders hinted that those events were less about celebration and more about strategy, quiet meetings, branding deals, and the constant balancing of power behind the camera. The line between image and reality had never been thinner, leaving fans to wonder how much of the industry's biggest love stories and alliances were actually built to protect something else entirely.